All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. It's 2025. Hard to believe we're in the fourth quarter here. All right. Please note this event is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Back in 2007, I started facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. It's hard to believe, but this group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader landed a job. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. You can get it on Amazon, or I have copies with me in person. And since 2017, I've been a member of the PIT crew, also known as the Practice Interview Team, and you'll hear more about them in just a few minutes. Just like to throw this out there once a month. Career DFW and the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group are two different organizations. Career DFW is a 501c3 nonprofit that I started when I started the website. This group, the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, has been around since the late 1990s. At this point, the only common thread between the two is that I happen to run both. You're welcome to overthrow me here at any time if you'd like to take over the Friday group. Our agenda this morning, we'll start out with success stories. I have heard of one landing, but we can't announce it, who it is yet. We'll have job leads. We'll have our 30-second introductions. We'll hear from the Interview Success Workshop, the Practice Interview Team, and the Career Tip of the Week. And then our main event, which is open forum today at about the top of the hour. So we like to start off the session with good news. Anybody have any landings to announce? Like I said, I do know of one landing. I was told it would happen very quickly, and she's not willing to announce it yet. So when she does, she'll let us know. Anybody else? All right, we'll go on. All right, what we'd like for everybody to do who's online right now is open up your chat window and put in your name, the position you're looking for, your email, your LinkedIn address, phone number, your city, 2 or 3 target companies. And then if you have companies where you've got connections, please let us know where those are so you can help somebody else who maybe wants to meet that person. So I'll let everybody get started here. We put 30 seconds on the clock. I have to stick with the 30-second tune because if I use the 60-second tune, YouTube will kick me out and say have I violated audio rules. So the 30-second one gets by every week. Okay, if you're still typing, please continue to type away, put your information in. That'll be really big help for us. Okay, for everybody here who's in the room, we want to do your in-person 30-second introductions. Come on down, grab the mic, and let's get started.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. My name is Michael Garber. I'm looking for a position as an IT or tech program manager in the technology infrastructure space. Current target company is Cisco Systems, and I have contact at Kyndryl. My name is Michael Garber.
Thank
Good morning, everybody. My name is William McLaughlin, currently seeking a business analyst role, and two of my target companies are GameStop and Dave and Buster's. Again, my name is William McLaughlin. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tim Farrell. Looking for work as an electrical design verification engineer. I need contacts at Alpha Wave Semiconductor and Corvo and any American defense contractor. And I have contacts at Raytheon, and my name is Tim Farrell.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stevie Booby. I'm looking for a software engineer job. I need contact at Toyota and Mickelson, and I have contact at Raytheon, Southwest Airline. My name is Stevie Booby.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Paul Hussar. That's H-U-S-A-R. I'm a Director VP of Customer Service, Technical Support. Accurus and Davico are looking for me. Accurus really needs me. If you know someone there, help them find me. I'm Paul Hussar.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bunch. I'm a certified Microsoft administrator, and I'm looking for a system administrator job for physical and virtual hardware. I also have experience with customer support for software. I'm looking for a system administrator and a desktop or server support role. My target companies are Walmart, the federal government, and T-Mobile. I have contacts at HP Enterprise, Microsoft, and Trellix. Again, my name is Jennifer Bunch.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alan Dunn. I'm an operationally minded systems thinking business analyst. I'm formalizing my native skills in data analytic projects. I'm seeking a data analyst, business analyst role, and target companies might be hospitals, other healthcare entities, and a lot of people need data analytics and business analysis. So it's a versatile skill set. Again, my name is Alan Dunn.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jim Tolbert. I am looking for experienced executives in an industry who want to run and own a company. I have twice in my career been an independent sponsor. I partnered with private equity, found a company, bought it, and ran it and grew it. And I am looking for executives who, as they are in transition, would consider and be interested in looking to buy a company. I can provide guidance in the process and investors who would be eager to back you.
And you are? Here's your name again. Okay.
Morning, gang. I'm Steve Sulkin. I'm a Director or VP of Organizational Transformation, and I'm looking for contacts at Community Health Services, and I can help with contacts at Baylor Scott & White. I'm Steven Sulkin.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tammy Woody. I am looking for positions in the financial industry, specifically financial literacy. I have a target company of UT Southwestern. I have no contacts. And again, my name is Tammy Woody.
Thank you.
Good morning, fellow job seekers. My name is Gary Dexter. I'm a Chief Information Security Officer. I need contacts at the Dallas Stars, Palantir, and pretty much anybody in the defense space. I have contacts at Chuck E. Cheese HQ and Caterpillar. Once again, my name is Gary Dexter.
Thank you.
Morning. Do non-clinical roles in physician leadership or healthcare insurance. I don't have any target companies right now, and possibly might be able to help you with something at UT Southwestern or Children's, and also have contacts at Integrity. My name is Brett Cooper.
Good morning. My name is David Bureau, and I am looking for supply chain management leadership position. I need contacts at Ryder Systems or Penske Trucking. And my name is David Bureau.
Great, thank you very much. Anybody else?
Hello, my name is Daniel Reisinger. I'm looking for a job in either welding or in welding education. Kind of on the fence between going into a welding job or some kind of teaching job. I need contacts at either welding or fabrication companies, or if you know someone in the ISD school districts, especially more rural ones. My name's Daniel Reisinger.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? All right, for everybody online, if you will, go to highlight your little bar at the very bottom and raise your hand so that I know who to call on you. Otherwise, I call on people 2 or 3 times if I don't. I have to try to figure out who I've called on. So, Steve, go ahead.
My name is Steve Rowan. I'm a retired .NET developer. I've got contacts at Fiserv and the VA. My name is Steve Rowan.
Thank you. Michael Wilk.
Hello, I'm Michael Wilk. I'm looking for a lead or senior software quality engineer or quality manager position. I have extensive experience in aerospace and defense. My target companies are Boeing, Raytheon, SNC, Collins Aerospace. I am Michael Wilk.
Thank you. Mike, I don't know, Mike, I always mess up your last name.
Morning, everybody. My name is Mike Belzil. So I'm looking for a director of product management focused on data and analytics solutions. So I'm looking for contacts at Amazon Web Services, Keurig Dr. Pepper, and USAA. So I have contacts at Walmart, Epsilon, and Circana. So my name is Mike Belzil.
Thank you. Elizabeth Hunter.
Good day, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Hunter, a global human resources leader seeking HR consulting, contract, and project roles. I have contacts at Sabre Corporation in Southlake and no current target companies. Elizabeth Hunter.
Thank you. Christy Grant Coleman.
Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Christy Grant Coleman. I am looking for manager or director roles in learning and development. My target companies this week, I need contacts at Toyota and Wells Fargo Bank. And my name is Christy Grant Coleman.
Thank you. Lincoln.
Hello, I'm Lincoln Turner. I'm looking for positions that would allow me to be a theater substitute teacher or a theater adjunct professor at a community college, as well as potentially specifically a training specialist within instructional design for any corporations in the Dallas area. I need contacts within Dallas ISD or at Dallas Community College, and also I have contacts at MST Accounting and Bookkeeping Services. My name is Lincoln Turner.
Thank you very much. Carol Palmer.
Good morning. My name is Carol Palmer. I'm looking for a job within the change management space. I'm re-looking at what my contact needs and where I can help others. My name is Carol Palmer. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosina Gallman, and I am your Career Tip of the Week host. So I'll be back in just a little bit. I'm looking for a position as a Senior Talent Acquisition Partner or Senior Recruiter or Corporate Recruiter position. This week, I need contacts at TIAA, T-Mobile, and USAA. And then I have contacts at a variety of different places. And so as I hear them, I'll reach out to you directly. And again, my name is Rosina Gallman, Senior Talent Acquisition Partner, Senior Recruiter, or Corporate Recruiter position. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Michael.
Good morning. This is Michael McClelland. I'm a IT manager / senior systems admin, kind of jack of all trades. That's kind of the positions I'm looking for. Hopefully somewhere in the DFW area. Go ahead and connect with me in LinkedIn to look at my contacts, see if we can help each other out. Once again, my name is Michael McClellan. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Katrina Palmer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karina Parmar. I am a principal product manager, and I am targeting companies like HP Enterprise and other enterprise software firms. I have contacts at Dell. That's where I came from. And my name again is Karina Parmar.
Thank you. Umberto.
Hey, good morning. My name is Humberto Rudia. I'm a customer success account manager. I'm looking for opportunities in the cloud services and unified communications industries. I need contacts in AWS and Google, and I have contacts in Microsoft. My name is Humberto Rudia. Thank you.
Thank you. Nikki Duncan.
Good morning, I'm Nikki Duncan. I am looking for chief of staff or director type roles, preferably remote, but open for a great opportunity in the Dallas area, Plano Frisco area. I don't have any target companies. I have a diverse network. So if you see somebody in my connections you need help getting connected with, let me know. I'm Nikki Duncan.
Thank you. Dahara.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Dara Patel, and I'm looking for positions as product owner, business analyst, product support analyst, project coordinator, or any support analyst roles. Currently, my target companies are any companies in Plano, possibly near shops at Legacy, such as Bank of America, JPMC, Toyota, etc. I have contacts at telecom companies. Feel free to reach out to me for any contacts at telecom companies or anyone else on my list of connections. Again, my name is Dara Patel.
You, Gabriella.
Hi, good morning. My name is Gabriela Villafaña, and I'm looking for finance and pricing manager roles on CPG companies, KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, beverage companies, or food. I need contacts. Actually, I don't need any contacts right now or any beverage supplier or distributor, but I do have contacts at Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits. And for that Daniel, I might have a contact on the welding union. So contact me or add me on LinkedIn.
All right.
And my name is Gabriela Villafaña.
Thank you very much. Did I miss anybody online? Anybody else online? Okay, we'll move on. All right, we don't have any recruiters online today, so no job leads to pass along. Time for the interview success workshop.
Good morning, everyone. I am Walt Glass, your friendly interview success coach. What do I do? How do I help you? What can I do to make a difference in your job search? I help you with interviewing skills. And so how many of us are in sales? Well, keep going. Keep going. All right, we all are, right? And we're selling ourselves. So how do we do that? So back in 2000, after working for 25 years, downsized, rift, etc., I had an interview, and there are not enough letters in the alphabet to tell you how bad that interview went. It was worse than a Z. So I did a deep dive into interviewing. I said, how can I help people with that? How can I even help myself? So what I did was I developed the Interview Success Workshop. It is free. You have to be registered to attend, but we focus on selling who we are, what we do, and how we can help. The three elements, and that's what companies are looking for: our personality, our soft skills, our hard skills, our knowledge, experience, and how we combine those to make something worthwhile. They don't hire us just to do the work, it's the results of the work This workshop is a learning interview. It is not formal. It's very informal. We want to put our learning hats on. We want to learn how to do better. So I cover the 12 basic categories. I only have 2 people at a time. It's online on Zoom on Tuesdays. Look me up on LinkedIn in the About section for details. The idea is, how can we sell ourselves, and what can we do to sell those 3 elements in our interviewing process? So be glad to have you participate. My phone number and my email address, my Yahoo email address is reserved for the workshop. Send me a note and I'll put you in the queue and get you registered. Be glad to have you participate. Call it learning without squirming. So, is job search putting us to the test? In interviews, do we appear like all the rest? Well, it's practicing for differentiation that I suggest that will put us at our interviewing best. I am Walt Glass.
Thank you very much. Paul. All right, let's hear from the practice.
And here is Mr. Microphone, Paul Hussar.
Thank you, Walt. I am so excited to talk to you about the PIT crew. The PIT crew is the practice interview team. They conduct mock interviews every Wednesday right here in this room, except for the 4th Wednesday of every month when the exercise is done online. So people from all over the country can participate. We ask people to practice early and practice often. The schedule gets tight. They are scheduled 3 weeks in advance. Send in a resume, a job description, and the folks will get you scheduled to come in and be interviewed by a panel of 3 interviewers. These interviewers will review your submission. They'll also research the company, and they'll be prepared to ask you the difficult questions you can expect to experience in a live interview. The best part, of course, is at the end of that interview, you get specific feedback on your performance in order to help you improve and basically ace the next interview. We're always looking for panelists. If you've been a hiring manager and you've had to terminate someone, you are qualified to be a panelist to help us out and conduct the interviews. Let me see, I think I covered everything, which is a nice change. So practice early, practice often. We have a group on LinkedIn. Be sure to join that group, and you'll get a lot more information on the interviewing process. Thank you. I'm Paul Hussar.
Thank you very much, Paul. All right, it's time to hear the career tip of the week. Good morning, Rosina.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. All right. This week's career tip of the week is labeled Reinvent Your Job Search. And I'll share later on, once we get into our main event, why I'm reinventing my job search. But basically, this article is produced with help from generative AI, Google Gemini, and it's based on my prompt, which is, what are some suggestions to reinvent my job search? So to reinvent your job search, you want to shift to an exploratory mindset, focusing on your strengths and aspirations rather than a narrow job title. You want to update your professional brand by developing a compelling, targeted resume and leveraging professional networks to gain advice and discover hidden opportunities. Embrace technology, using AI tools to enhance your resume and content, and then create all of that to build your visibility. Finally, maintain a positive and resilient mindset by scheduling your search, engaging in joyful activities, and practicing gratitude to combat the potential setbacks. So first, you want to shift your mindset. You want to explore possibilities. Step away from thinking about specific job titles and instead consider which skills you enjoy using and what problems you are excited about solving. You want to next embrace the unknown. Give yourself permission to explore different industries, companies, and formats without needing a clear reason for fitting in, first of all. And then you want to challenge your limitations. When you find yourself saying, but, well, to an idea anyway, you want to stop and reframe it to see the possibility instead of the obstacle. Next, you want to update your professional brand. Revamp your resume. Create a resume that highlights your accomplishments and transferable skills, showing how your past successes can benefit a company rather than listing every past responsibility. You want to build your network. Connect with friends, family, and professional contacts online and in person to find advice and uncover potential openings. And then you want to also create a content ecosystem. Use AI tools to generate long-form content that showcases your expertise and enhances your professional visibility. And third, maintain a positive and resilient mindset. You want to create a schedule. So organize your job search with a weekly schedule to maintain focus and avoid feeling the feeling of overwhelm. You want to cultivate joy. Enjoy your engage in hobbies and activities outside of your job search to bring you joy and help you stay motivated on those tough days. You want to practice gratitude. Start a daily gratitude practice by writing down 5 things that you're grateful for, which can improve your overall mindset and motivation. And then embrace setbacks. View challenges and setbacks as learning opportunities to refine your approach and build resilience. So by following these suggestions, this will give you a new approach to your job search and exploring the new opportunities that exist. And together, we will discover more of what's new in the coming weeks. So again, this is just the beginning of a new series, Reinvent Your Job Search. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you, Rosina. Thank you very much. All right, today for lunch, we're going to go to Country Burger. Join us at 11:45, 3115 West Parker Road. It's on the northwest corner at Parker and Independence. Burger, salad, and more. If you want this particular hamburger, you have to bring your own sliced ham. But they have everything else that would go on this hamburger. If you want to receive today's materials, you'll get a link to the YouTube channel, today's recording. You'll get a copy of the tip of the week, a copy of the Zoom chat, and to make sure you get it, if you're here in person, make sure you check yourself off on the roster, or if you're brand new, you fill it out a little white slip of paper, and if it's legible, I'll be able to read it and get you invited to the group. For everybody who's online, please include your email address in the chat somewhere. You can just just enter your email. It's all you have to do, just so that I know you're here. And if you don't put anything in the chat, I won't know you're with us, and you won't be on today's roster when I update it. Okay, so the main event, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. Today is open forum. We're going to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. So I encourage everybody to have their camera on. I'm going to stop sharing so we can see everybody. And whatever it is you want to talk about, please do. Somebody here, all right, hold on.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeff. Hey, I'm Alan Dunn again. I guess I wasn't prepared to bring this up, but so there's a lot of factors to the job search. Everyone, I think, realizes there's upskilling, there's projects to demonstrate that, there's applications, there's obviously networking, there's following up, there's cover letters, tailoring your resume, LinkedIn, proficiency, all these things, right? So my question, or I guess the topic I would want to discuss, is organizing those things into a schedule, like was just mentioned by Rosalina, I think. And I'm fully in favor of that approach. And I guess I would just like some guidance in doing it effectively, accomplishing all those bases at whatever proportions are advisable. Thank you. Look forward to hearing your suggestions. Thank you.
Okay. Comments?
Usually on the weekend, I plan my week for the next week. So either Saturday or Sunday, I'll sit down and go through my schedule, my personal and professional schedule, and figure out where is my white space. And during that white space, I try to schedule time with other job seekers or somebody that can assist me in the workforce. I'll schedule appointments during that time. But make sure you have self-care in that as well.
Anybody else? Come on, y'all. Somebody has to have a schedule. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Jeff, this is Rosina. So that's part of why this article came up for this week for me anyway, reinventing your job search. I have been at this for a while, as everybody knows. I've been on the call with all of you guys doing the same thing as Alan had just mentioned. And so I'm basically scrapping my whole entire everything. I'm creating a brand new cover letter, new resume, new revamping my LinkedIn profile. I mean, I'm throwing it all out and starting fresh from scratch. So for me, I'm only going to dedicate 30 minutes a day, just if I'm focusing on one thing, like my resume. All right, well, here we go. We're going to start with the resume and I'm going to fill in some blanks. So what I did, I went and there was a job I found because I stumbled on a new job board, new as in something I hadn't used before. And it's a CPG job board dedicated to just CPG jobs and professionals and things of that nature, and at the executive level. And so I was like, huh. And I found a great job that I was interested in. And it hadn't ever shown up in any of my other searches. So I'm like, okay. But it had some other things that I didn't include. I've been dumbing down my resume, so to speak, so long that because I've gotten so many comments about how I look too expensive or I look overqualified or, you know, all the negative comments. And so with that said, I'm like, you know what? I'm putting everything back in there because I am very valuable to a company. But if I've been taken out so much, you can't really see that anymore. So I'm getting back to who I am, so to speak. And that's why I said I'm scrapping the whole thing. But what I did, one of the first things I did, I took that job ad and put it into Google Gemini. And I said, create a resume from that job ad. Oh, and I didn't call it a job ad. I said, create a resume from this information. And so it created a resume template highlighting specific things from that job ad. And it tells you exactly what to highlight. So I can't remember one of the specifics, but it had a line item specifically from the job. And it said, make sure you add accomplishments under this, this, and this. So it gave you suggestions. And I was like, okay, well, this is kind of cool because y'all know I love AI. So that's one of the things I really like about AI is it does give you a lot of good suggestions. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking that template and filling in all the suggestions. And it brings back a lot of the things that I've done in my past. Even though it hadn't been recent, it's still things I've already done and had exposure to and have experience with. So like I said, I'm going to use my AI tools. I'm going to just approach it differently. I am reinventing my job search, but I'm putting a timer on it. So 30 minutes, but no more than an hour. Every single day, I'm going to sit down and dedicate to changing something. And I really got excited when I was working on, we did the pitch deck several months ago. I've been building my slides slowly, but I was excited because it kind of reminded me of, again, some of the great projects that I've done that I may not have highlighted in my recent resume because I've been tailoring it down because of what employers have been saying in their comments to me. And I'm like, you know what? I am a valuable person, a very valuable employee. I have a lot to offer, and I can't keep taking away just because they feel as though I'm too expensive or look too overqualified or things of that nature. So, like I said, I'm reinventing my job search and really getting back to my authentic self. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you very much. Anybody else?
So I had a question about something that came up on my LinkedIn feed this morning. I could just look this over a minute, and it's about this job search Trojan horse strategy that came up my LinkedIn feed this morning. I was wanting to know, like, what your opinion after looking at this, what your opinion on that is, and do you agree that it's effective, or do you disagree about like what's in this post about it?
I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do your job search. You know, there was Dennis O'Hagan used to talk about the Barney Fife. You know, you don't want to be the sheriff who has a bullet in their pocket, one bullet in their pocket, and that's all they have. You want to have your 6-shooter full because you never know which one's going to hit the target. So there is no right or wrong way. You know, everybody finds a job differently.
Hey, Jeff. This is Nikki Duncan. Is that Trojan horse Trevor Houston's process?
Yes, it is.
So I can tell you that I follow Trevor's process mostly. And I had 3 interviews in 1 week from people who came to me because of content that I put on my profile. And it wasn't content that had anything to do with the fact that I was looking for a job. It was content that I created focusing on where my level of expertise is. Like Rosina was saying, where she, you know, she used to play down her expertise. I used to play down my expertise and focus only on my resume. And when I stopped doing that and started creating content that focused on where my expertise lies, whether you use videos like I do or not on your LinkedIn profile, I don't think videos are always the magic thing. I think you can create content that shows your expertise and get attention to your profile without videos if you're not comfortable with them. I use videos, and I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I saw your video about going back to college as a later in life learner, and I'm looking for, and you're looking for this kind of work. I'm hiring for that kind of work. Can we talk? I'm in the interview process. Hopefully I'll get a 3rd round soon for one of those right now. And I had somebody else reach out and said, hey, I saw your a video or some piece of content on strategic communications, and I think you would be a great fit for this job. And it was a completely different kind of job, but it never would have hit my list or my radar, but they found me because of the content I'm putting out. And then part of the Trojan horse strategy that Trevor talks about is using, he talks about bomb a lot. I use Loom. But using those videos, when I connect with somebody or have had an interview with somebody, I will send them, just like you might pick up the phone and leave somebody a voicemail. I will get on Loom and basically leave them a video voicemail that says, hey, it was so great to meet you today. Thank you for taking time to talk to me and blah, 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 you know, whatever. I'm really excited about this opportunity. And I will send them that link to the video because it sends it in a way that is basically an HTML embed, not a link, so they'll watch it. And I've had people respond to that and say, oh my gosh, this video is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Why don't more people do it? And more people don't do it because it's uncomfortable at first. So, I mean, it may or may not ever work for you, but I can guarantee you that everything you're not doing doesn't work. If you don't do it, it won't work, right? But if you do it, it might work. So I take the chance and I do it. And also, if there's a target company that you're trying to get into, one of the other things Trevor talks about in his Trojan horse, and I've done this, one of the other things he talks about, if there's a target company that you really want to get into and you're following them on LinkedIn, use these Loom videos or BombBomb videos to create a comment on their post. So instead of commenting and saying, that was a great post today, William, and just typing that text message, throwing a video in there that really gets their attention. I've had some great results and built some new high level connections that way too. So it hasn't landed me a job yet, but it has certainly expanded my network with a more diverse and, I don't know, influential group of decision makers, I guess you could say.
Nikki's going to be our speaker next week, and she'll be talking about using Canva to create a video that you can post on LinkedIn. How much of what you just talked about is what you'll talk about next week?
Can you repeat that, Jeff?
How much of what you're going to talk about next week is what you just got done mentioning?
Almost none. Next week, our focus is going to be on the video resume, and Michael Wilk was my volunteer. And so Michael and I created a video resume for him. And next week, I'll show you how we created it and share a template and how I use my video resume and scripts. And the way I use my video resume is it's different than all of that, just the creating content. But the same tools that I use for my video resume are the tools I use to create my video content.
And then I understand, Michael, you keeping track of how much viewership you're getting?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll share that next week too. Okay, that'll be great. Thank you all. All right, what else? Here we go.
Yeah, because Jeff, I'd heard you say that that the video emails like aren't always effective from your experience because you say something about them about company emails blocking those messages from coming through. So I want you to explain to everybody a little more about that for those that may not be unclear or may have missed Frisco Connect on Tuesday and didn't hear that.
Nikki, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so most of my messages that I'm sending people are not directly to their inbox, their work inbox, because a lot of times we don't even have their emails, right? Most of the messages I am sending with the videos are either a comment on someone's post or they are in the IMs, the messages in LinkedIn, you know. So William, if you were a hiring manager or as somebody targeting chief of staff type roles, I'm targeting hiring managers, CEOs, you know, those kind of people, right? So if you are a decision maker in the company I'm trying to get into, whether we're connected or not, if I see a job in your company that I am interested in, chances are pretty good that I'm going to send you a message through LinkedIn that says, hey, William, I saw your company is hiring for a chief of staff. I would be super interested in learning more about your company. I hope we can set up a 10-minute coffee chat. I've created a video resume. I've created a short video to show an overview of my story and value proposition. I hope to hear from you soon. That's it. Real short, real sweet. And I take my post from LinkedIn where my video is embedded and I copy that link into the message. So when you get that message, it shows up with a thumbnail of the video with the LinkedIn post. So they know visually, I'm not asking them to go anywhere outside of LinkedIn and click on anything that's suspicious and is going to put their computer at risk. And I use the same approach with those Loom videos or the BombBomb videos that Trevor talks about. It's the same thing. Yes, it's a link, but it has a video, it has a thumbnail that shows, you know, the beginning of it. And what Trevor's talking about, he says put their name on it. And I don't have his cute little dry erase board, so I cut pieces of paper in circles, right? And there's this one guy that I might cyber stalk him just a little bit. And I have a little circle and I just write his name on his paper and I flash the thing up and I go back and forth because he's going to recognize his name and he's like, what is this thing? And after about 10 comments back and forth written on his posts with no reaction, I did one video in his comments. He watched it and he was like, okay, that's a way to get somebody's attention. And that was his reaction to it, was that's the way to get somebody's attention. Now, we didn't go anywhere farther than that, but I got a reaction from him. And if my name ever crosses his desk in the application process, well, then he might remember that's that weirdo that did this, right? And that's really all we're trying to do is get somebody's attention. Sometimes it's going to pan out, sometimes it's not. I don't try to attach a video to an email because that's never going to work. And they may watch it, they may not watch it. It takes, 30 seconds to create a video that says, thanks for taking time to talk to me. I really appreciated it. I'm super excited about the job. I will type a portion of that same message in my email. So even if they don't click the video and watch it, they still get my gratitude in writing. So it's whichever works for them, right? But I've had some great response to the videos. So can't say they do work 100%, can't say they don't work. So.
All right, thank you.
May I interject something?
Go ahead.
Nikki, thank you so much for sharing what you've shared. My number one strength is positivity. Okay. Clifton strength. So one of the things that you said that stands out the most to me was, and I'm emphasizing it so that everybody can hear it and it can resound with everyone. Everything that you don't try will not work. Period. So if you can sit back and say, oh, that's not gonna work because of this, or oh, they're gonna block that, or oh, if you don't try it, I guarantee you it won't work. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm here as a quasi recruiter, and I want to expound upon what I shared with you when I introduced myself earlier today. And what I want to do is plant a seed. I have gone to a lot of these executive and transition forums looking for the people that I'm looking for. And I will tell you, 90% of the people I talked to said, I didn't even know that existed. The whole concept of being an independent sponsor. And give you just 2 minutes of background about my career. I was a McKinsey consultant. I left, I started a business. And during the course of starting this business, I met a gentleman at a conference who was looking for capital. And I ended up introducing him to some private equity investors. We ended up investing in his company, and I ended up becoming their CFO. We exited that business. I then decided I wanted to be the CEO of my own platform in the industry that I knew well. It was for-profit education. And I went out, looked for a company to buy, partnered with a private equity firm, bought a company, and ran it for 15 years. We exited that business about 4 years ago. So what I am trying to do right now is partner with experienced executives who know an industry. There's a lot of capital out there looking to buy money. And there's a process that you go through to look for a company, to negotiate its purchase, to negotiate with investors, and if you're interested, to eventually run that company. Now, I'm working with a handful of executives right now. I'm working with someone in the non-standard insurance agency business. I'm working with somebody in the injection plastic molding business. I'm working with someone in the commercial banking business. It really doesn't matter what industry you know. It just matters that you know an industry and you can be a viable candidate to an investor to run a company. Now, I'll tell you another example of someone I worked with. He came up to me after one of these meetings and he said, I've never run a company. I've never run a P&L. I'm a CIO. I know this industry really well. I know where in this industry, it was commercial, small community banking industry. I know where a lot of companies are leaving a lot of money on the table. And I said, I would like to get backed by an investor to buy these companies and fix them. And I said, you know, to be quite honest, it's going to be tough to get an investor to back you because you don't have P&L experience. But what I suggested he do is form a team, get other executives from that industry, pull together, create an executive team, and go find acquisitions. And it is a very successful model. So not everybody in here or on this call may have run a company, may even run a division. But if you think you know an industry and you said, yeah, I really could either myself or pull together a team, trust me, there are a lot of very enthusiastic investors out there looking for these types of situations. My name is Jim Tolbert. I'm on LinkedIn. And if you'd like to contact me to learn more about this, I would be happy to share it with you. Oh, by the way, one other question I got after I gave this presentation, someone came up to me and said, is this This is 100% not franchising. This is about you not buying into something. It's you taking the initiative to lead something. And what I have also found, I can't talk people into doing this. It's a lot of work. And if while you're looking for a job, this is something you want to do in parallel, great. And if you eventually find a job and abandon this, I understand that. But if while you're looking for a job, you could be splitting your time and looking for companies to invest in, like I said, there's a lot of enthusiastic people who would like to back you. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. All right, Russ, what else can we talk about? Another subject, here we go.
Yeah, excuse me, Tim Farrell. This is a follow-up question from last week's presentation on labor law, which I've been kind of mulling over in my mind over the past week. And maybe my conclusion is right or wrong, and I'm hoping to get feedback. And my conclusion is, should anyone ever sign a non-compete employment contract that is not at the high executive level, I don't see what would be good for us to sign such an agreement, a non-compete agreement. If we're just at the entry level or mid-level, what is to be gained for us? But I'd appreciate any feedback or comments.
Anybody in here? Anybody online want to answer that?
The hand is up.
Elizabeth, your
Hi.
hand is
Yes, this is Elizabeth Hunter. As a human resources professional, formerly at a software company, it was a condition of employment. So if you wanted the job, you had to sign the non-compete. Now, along with the non-compete, there is an early resolution process that you can go through to request waiving the 6 month. It was a 6 month and everyone was expected to sign it. Executives, it extended to a year. But if you read the fine print, there was this possibility of, okay, if I can meet certain criteria, such as not selling into the exact same space that my company did, or not talking to customers that are currently a customer of that company. So I signed a non-compete. I wanted the job, and it didn't hold me back.
Yeah, you can't really compete against HR departments.
Okay, my name is Helen. I have had a business of my own for the past 8 years, and all employees that I do bring on, I require them to also do the non-competing disclosure, and that's just because we don't want you to take the information that you've even gotten through the interview, talking to other people, and take it and use it against my company. So that's from a small business perspective, and nobody has declined that, or like she also said, it's if you want the job, then you kind of have to sign that form.
Tiffany Ford, as also an HR professional, I know that a lot of you sign them because, you want the job, as people have said, but I know your question was about, is there a benefit of it? Especially at maybe the entry level, just to be honest, not really. But as people have said, it is, you can either take this job or we can go to the next person. So that's why it's done. Is there really a benefit for you? Not really. You know, there are black and white rules, but we all swim in the gray. So if you know how to swim in the gray, you can you can get around that. But I'm not going to go there right now. So, but is there really, like you said, outside of the executive level and entry level, is there benefit for you? No, the benefit is on the company side. But you know, if you want the job, then you'll do it or whatever it is. I know Tammy was just talking about even The Biggest Loser. If you want to be on, you got to, you know, sign it or else we'll go to the next person. So that's what it is. But to answer your specific question about the benefit, not really.
Okay.
One possibility, this is Walt Glass, that you might consider is number one, I'd be glad to sign and say, I won't take your vendors, I won't take your employees, and I won't take your intellectual property. But this not working thing is not working for me. So if you sign that agreement and you say you won't compete, if you find a position, is an option, you could take that position, that information, go back and see if you can be released from the competition, the compete agreement, so that company can hire you. So depending on that situation, there's a potential out that says, hey, you know, it's supposed to be a 2-year non-compete. It's been 18 months. Can I get released from the last months? Here's my situation and here's what I'm trying to do. So that's just an option to consider.
Yeah, playing in the gray. Anybody else?
My question is, when is the non-compete is active? Because recently, last week, I signed a conditional offer and it had a non-compete on it. I just wanted to know when is becoming active. Is it the moment I sign it or is when I'm finally starting the job there?
Well, it's not going to take effect till you start the job, because if they haven't paid you, you know, you sign something, you don't start to work for 6 months, they can't be holding you against that for a 6-month period. So I would say it's the day you start, the day you're eligible for the first payroll. Hold on here.
Patrick was
Agreeing with everything you just said, Jeff, but to your question, it just makes me think, because I'm huge on documentation, just make sure your documentation says that, because that's a great question of when does it take effect. So it should take effect when you start to do the work, but just make sure your documentation says that so that you're not held to it on the back end.
Read all the details closely.
Along those same lines, I'll just weigh in, Elizabeth Hunter. There are job offers that pay you to be out of the industry for a certain period of time so that you can meet the qualifications of your non-compete. So in that case, the expectation is you may get a job offer 4 months from now because you were under a 6-month non-compete and you only had 2 months down. Then that should be spelled out in the offer that the expectation is that you will not work in the industry. So I miss the name of the former person, but yeah, each non-compete is different, and make sure that you understand what it is that you're signing, even if you have to invest in having an attorney look at it for you.
Right. Okay. This topic or something else, what else would you like to talk about? How many people in here have a 1-page bio? No hands are going up. To me, a one-hand bio is much more effective than a resume. Nikki,
You have some online.
Okay, a couple online, yeah. Here in the room, not many in the room here. You know, Nikki, how do you use your 1-page bio?
So far I haven't. Well, I kind of have. I had my 1-page bio created when we were all getting ready to go to that job fair. My 1-page bio is not a normal, well, I've got 2. The one that's on my LinkedIn profile is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. The one that I print out to take with me is on a heavy cardstock, and it is not the size of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and it's turned the other way. So it's like a large postcard that you might get in the mail. And I did that, one, so the heavier paper is going to stick out in a pile of papers, and two, it's a different shape, so it's going to stick out different. And you know, I find it handy when, if people ask for my business card, I can give them a business card, or I can give them, you know, my bio, my one-page bio, and it hits the highlights of my career. And I have them all in my little, it's not sitting here right now, but I have them all in my little leather, you know, portfolio thing, padfolio that we carry, you know, our pieces of paper and stuff in. I have them in folders in the front of that, and I've got my business cards and my one pager, and then I've got my resume. And when people ask if they can have a copy of my, or a business card, and I open that padfolio, they see that bio sitting there and they're like, well, what is that? And I'll pull it out, and they're like, well, can I have this instead of the business card? I'm like, well, of course you can have that instead of the business card. And it just gives them more information about who I am and what I do than a business card possibly can. And it sticks, like I said, it sticks out in a stack of papers differently.
Lincoln, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, of course. This question is kind of similar to what was just brought up in the chat. I, as a young job seeker right now, right out of college, I am kind of re-strategizing and I'm taking a new tactical approach to my own job search right now. And because I actually got through to the third round of an interview myself, and it was down between me and one other person, and I did not get selected. However, this one-page bio is something that I've yet to create. I've created various resumes, one for my more theater-centric job hunting currently, as well as one for instructional design, and I actually have a website that I'm developing right now for my very own production company. But this one-page bio seems like a very intriguing additional thing to add to kind of my job searching portfolio, and I kind of wondered if we could, if there was a certain template that that Nikki recommends, or if there's a certain way to go about that. And also, if I know you said it fits on a stock card, so I wondered, when writing, should it fit, like, should it be one page, like, double spaced, if it should be single spaced, like that sort of a situation. If there's anything you want to speak to about that.
I can share my template. I'm actually working on it right now. I'm gonna create a link that you guys can access it. It's in Canva, and then you can just copy it into your own Canva account and do whatever you want with it. So I'll share the link. But it's definitely single spaced.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Jeff, if you want, I don't know if the screen is projecting to a screen in a room in there or not, but if you want, I can share my screen and show people what it looks like.
I'll have to give you permission. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. Share. Does everybody see it?
There it is.
Okay. So hang on, make that go away. So it is, I mean, like I said, it is less than an 8.5 by 11. And I put my bio picture here, and I'll just blow it up and go in, big. How to contact me in the top, my name, obviously. And, I kind of pulled from our 10-second intros that we do. And so I kind of have my 10-second intro in here and a little bit more in here. But I've got, I have a proven track record of doing these things, and a little bit about me, just in case they didn't get it from the big paragraph at the top. And it's just a couple of sentences. This is not anything major. And then 4 bullet points down here of some of the biggest things that I impact working. And that's how I do it. And I have another one that is, where's the other one? I have another one that is an 8.5 by 11. It is a normal 8.5 by 11. And this, I have this one on my LinkedIn profile. And, I got pretty bold right here with the why should you choose me, even, adding that. And I've had people reach out to me because of the stuff on my LinkedIn profile. I've had people reach out to me and say, I liked your bio sheet. Can we talk about this? Or I liked your video resume. Can we talk about this? Or even, like I said earlier, just the content that I create. People reach out to me for all kinds of stuff that's been on my profile, and I've gotten speaking engagements out of it. And it's all attention that's coming your way that you're not, it's all attention that's coming to you instead of you chasing a job application through an ATS system.
We've had a speaker here in the past, her name is Minna Brown, who talks about the one-page bio. They actually have a book called Be Sharp. In the second half of on the second edition, the second half of the book has got about 30 or 40 bios in it that you can use as templates to try to figure out what you want to do. If I remember, I will put the link to that YouTube video in the email that I put out tomorrow with the chat. So if you want to go back and watch it, you'll be able to go and do it. It's really, to me, the one-page bio, you should be sending out the one-page bio much more than you send out a resume. Because when you send out a resume, your resume that you're sending out has to be customized to a job description. And if you don't know what that job is, you're just trying to get yourself in or just trying to meet somebody, one-page bio is a high-level document that sort of says why should we talk about it. So
yeah, Jeff, I like what this is Don Champlin. I like what Nikki did, because when you look down at the bottom, she's accessing her Gifford strengths and actually showing and validating what that means and what she can do in what she's looking for. So I think those one-page bios have to really communicate. And that's what I strive for. They have to really communicate, what do you do, and how can I be how am I the person for the job, or for the situation? Because like Nikki, I'm a problem solver. I'm a person that comes in and orchestrates and takes messes and turns them around. So that's part of my Gifford strengths, and it's part of what I do. And if you can communicate that, even from getting out of college to the new guy on the block, then you come in a long ways towards. So really reference and think through that. And if you haven't taken Gifford strengths, I would encourage you to do that, because it's really very helpful.
all right, okay.
Hey, I was just gonna ask Jeff, Nikki, is it basically the one-page bio? Is that essentially one page? Is that basically an executive summary, kind of like who you are, what you bring, and how you help?
Yes.
Just summarized. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
it's one page, high level, 3 or 4 of your attributes. Just the last paragraph is usually just one line, 1 or 2 lines. This is where I went to college, this is what I got my degree in. But you're just trying to put a document out there that somebody's going to read it and go, I want to talk to this person, or this person could possibly do something that I need done in my company.
Is this sort of like a facsimile of it?
Hey, Jeff, the
Yes,
way it was explained to me to put it together was, your resume is targeted for a specific job, but your one-page bio is targeted to who you are, what you bring to the table, no matter what job you're working, no matter where you're doing, if it is personal life or professional life or volunteer life, we all bring, there's always some common thread in what we do and who we are and what we bring to the table. And that is what I focused on my one-page bio. And I also put in the chat a link to a testimonials sheet that I have on my profile, so that if anybody wants, I've got recommendations down at the bottom of my profile but I put them in together in a pretty sheet all at the top. So if you go along the featured section of my LinkedIn profile, I've got my video resume, my one-page bio, my testimonials, and then I've got, you know, speaking engagement videos and stuff behind that. But I made it so that it's all quick and easily digestible.
Good. Okay. What else can we answer for somebody?
Hey, Nikki, this is Dara. I had a question. I see that you mentioned that you print out your profile on a postcard, and I had some networking issues, so I couldn't catch all of your info. But I wanted to see, like, when you have your bio or your profile printed on the postcards, where do you actually hand them out? So I ask that because, let's say, when we go to a networking event, of course, we get our LinkedIn profile scanned using the barcode on the LinkedIn itself. However, wh- uh, how do you approach, or how do you present yourself when you go to any events other than networking events? And then where else could you possibly hand out your postcards or your profiles on the postcards that you have printed?
Me personally, they live in my purse, and I hand it out anytime. I've handed out a few of them at the networking events, you know, like this one in person. In a few weeks, I'm going to a networking event at a college for project management, and I will have them there because you just never know, right? It's kind of like leaving behind a business card. Only in my case, it's a business card with my face on it and more of my story of what I bring to the table. So just really driving home the point that, hey, we met. And I used to go to conventions and things all the time, and I would meet people and I'd be like, oh, man, who's this Dara chick? How did I meet her? What did we talk about? Like, I just couldn't remember, right? But with that bio sheet with somebody's picture on it, then I have a chance of remembering. I would look at a plain business card and it would say, you know, Dara on it. And I'd be like, okay, cool. I talked to this lady named Dara, but I don't remember why or where or anything else. And I got to say, I never really followed up with those business cards. But if I had a postcard that had your picture on it, it's going to help my brain remember our conversation. And so whether you're doing it as a large 8.5 by 11, or you're doing it as a half size of an 8.5 by 11 postcard, or even if you're putting it on a business card and you're making your business card, you're, you know, and you're putting your picture on your business card. Anything that helps people remember who you are, anywhere you are, I always have them with me. So I never know when I'm going to give them out, but I'm prepared if I need them.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, what other topic can we talk about? Is there anybody watching the chat? Because I can't, I'm walking around, so I'm not looking at that.
I have a tip if I can take the space.
Go ahead.
So something that I have been doing for the last 6 months, and I kick myself for not doing it sooner, and maybe this is common sense for everyone else, is if I'm reaching out to a connection for a role or an introduction or an internal referral to the role within their company, I always send them a little paragraph that says why I think I'm a good fit for the role. And just include it for them so that if there's a space for them to suggest why they think I'm good for it, it's already pre-set for them. And if not, if somebody comes back to them and asks them, they have a handy answer of why they think I might be a good fit.
Good. Good suggestion. All right, what else can we answer for somebody? Go home and do a bio this week. What?
This is Elizabeth Hunter again. I just wanted to put in a plug for your groups.io. The article in there that was posted by D. Lewis Groover Jr. on what do employers mean when you're overqualified and what you can do about it. I highly recommend anyone who's gotten that feedback when they've interviewed for a job to read that article. It is a great summary of that situation with steps that you can take to address it.
Elizabeth, can you share that in the chat? I'd love to see that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, what else? Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah, a question about how to negotiate salary I've been wondering about, and that is, suppose the posted salary is, just to take even numbers, is 40 to 50,000 a year, and you know, and suppose that's acceptable to you, and you know, maybe some other jobs you've been saying, you know, maybe I'm at the 35,000 level, but you see it's posted at 40 to 50. And they say, well, what's your salary range? You see it already posted 40 to 50. To me, the strategy would be, and I'm wanting to get feedback on this strategy, would be you would have a bracket that you would tell them that includes their highest salary, but not their lowest. So for this particular example, you would say 45 to 55 is what I'm, you know, targeting. Is that correct strategy?
Well, I think there's two methods. One, you have to research and know what the job should be paying in this community. So I would, if they had asked me, I would say, well, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, this position in this city pays a range of, you know, 50 to 70. And I expect that whatever you're going to pay is going to be fair and reasonable. I love using the term, you're going to pay fair and reasonable, because who's not going to do that? The second thing you can do, and this is not sort of a joke that Steve Zipkoff came up with, is, well, my manufacturer just suggested retail price is 125,000. I can't work for free and nobody pays full price. I'm sure we can come up with a fair and reasonable price. So I've used that before, and the guy started laughing. So, you know, if, you know, you tell a joke, you never know. You know, but the whole key is you have to know what your minimum range is. And then if you quote, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics or according to salary.com, this position in this city, the range is, and then whatever the range is, you know, you can go a little bit less and you can go a little bit more to show.
Thank you, sir.
And of course, I'll bring up to you as well the don't forget to check out videos about that on the YouTube channel called "A Life After Layoff." That's if you want to, he covers things about negotiation, and he actually posted some videos recently that have some really good information when it comes to interviewing. So highly suggest everyone check those out. It's including one it's talking about how the top 1% of candidates talk in interviews. So I think that's one that you should check out. And another one on that channel about how to spot fake job postings. That's another one, especially, you know, with all the scams going around, that you check out as well. So just someone post that in the chat, please.
And there's also, if you go back, you know, every video that we've had from the North Dallas group has been posted for the last 4.5 years. And we've talked about the salary negotiation in the past and other topics. So you can always go back and take a look at that. You just have to remember to go through the first 30 minutes, because it'll be of all of us giving intros, but, you know, the speaker will be talking the second part of the video. What else can we talk about? It's too early to go to lunch now, so we have to keep talking about something.
Jeff, you have a question online.
I do.
Oh.
It's me again. Sorry. Hi, it's Karina.
Go ahead.
Is Jennifer Bench still in the room? I'd love to get a hold of her, and I can't find her on LinkedIn.
Jennifer is here. Are you on LinkedIn?
I am, and I put my LinkedIn in the chat earlier, so I'll put it back in to the bottom so she can see it. Right away.
Okay. So look at the chat when you get it tomorrow and reach out. Okay.
Thank you.
Jeff, I have a question online
Go ahead.
or a topic. I don't know. My question is for those of you, those of you who don't fit this. I don't know if you have a comment, but you can try. Those of us who are job seekers who are 50 plus, and I'm way north of that, so I'm not even going to reveal that. But if there are any strategies for us, not only am 50 plus, but spent a great deal of time with my last employer. So in my mind, I have the thought sometimes that those are two strikes against me. But I'm curious as to others who may be in the same position, one or the other.
Christy,
Christy?
I'm in the same camp as you, Christy. And I've just gotten really active on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah, I have this mindset.
Not comfortable.
Well, and I have this mindset about LinkedIn, and I spend a lot of time there also. Nikki, I don't post. I'm not as active and as innovative as you are, so I'm sure that helps. There's been some things said today that I thought, okay, I need to move out of my comfort zone. But I just have this thought that everything that people promote on, not you, but that gets promoted about LinkedIn is just a way that LinkedIn stays relevant. So I just, some days I'm like, okay, I'll do it, and some days I'm like, I'm sick of making LinkedIn so relevant in my job search. So I don't know, but I appreciate that. And I'm always amazed at your creativity and innovation. In my field, I should be there, but I'm not, and I need to possibly try that. But
Hey,
for any
Christy.
strategies, people. Oh, go ahead, Jeff. I think or someone's trying to talk.
Yeah, this is Mike. Just a couple thoughts because I'm in that boat. I would, lean on your strengths, which is your experience and your network, which gives you an advantage over other. I know it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but I read somewhere that the majority of the people that are getting hired are from contacts with people that they used to work with. So lean heavy on your prior workers, be open to going to companies that maybe you worked at 10, 15, 20 years ago, because that you're a known commodity there versus somebody from the outside. I mean, so much of the hiring seems to be about risk mitigation, right? If you're a known commodity, you have a proven track record of this company. It's like that is an advantage that, most other job seekers don't have. There's other things like, sanitize your profile, take out the dates for like your education, the standard stuff I'm sure you've read and done. So, but I just think more people that I've run into than not say like, embrace it and then put yourself in environments where, your age and experience is going to be an asset versus a liability.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks.
A bunch of 20-somethings, you're not going to fit in. You just got to find that company that needs your skill and you can show your skill that will solve their problem.
Yeah, because I have found that, when I've got sought out by recruiters, I know, and they tell me it's because of my experience, right? And it's very industry specific, which I'd love to break out of that industry, but the people seem to be interested in me are from my, from the industry I spent the most amount of time in. And that actually brings up another question because one of my jobs was so long ago, I don't even include it on my resume. And I've often, when I fill out an application, and it parses my resume and it gets everything there and it asks, is there other experience? And I always sit and look at that thinking, should I add that other job? And most of the time I opted not to. So I don't know. Any thoughts about that?
Well, if it's a company you've got experience in, I would always have a section on my resume towards the bottom that says prior relevant experience. And then all you do is list the company and that's all you have to do because that gives you permission to talk about any situation that came up in one of those jobs in an interview. because you do not want to come bring up something in an interview that it's not on the resume. So a section experience, I always think is a excellent idea for those jobs in the past.
Yeah, that's a good idea because it's interesting. The other company, my former experience, is a very impressive employer. They, I mean, that very recognizable name. And it's interestingly enough, I changed my profession from where I started, but it's a part of my tell me about yourself story, like how I got into the profession I'm in. So I think I'll add it back just from that, Jeff. So I appreciate that.
My
Hey,
daughter,
Christy. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just going to say, I told my daughter when she got her first job was with IBM. Well, that's a company that everybody knows, and a company that she should always put on her resume because it's going to be noteworthy and people will appreciate that. Now she didn't like it, but she was still there for 2.5 years, and that'll be something that she can boast about forever.
I always think it just reveals how long I've been in the workforce. That's been my primary reason for leaving it off. It's like, gee, that was a long time ago.
I maintain the right person is going to like that about us.
Yeah, you're right.
And the fact that we were at a company for so very long. But Christy, you mentioned that you kind of want to get out of the industry you were last in.
Mhm.
Have you updated your industry on your LinkedIn profile so that when people are searching, if they're searching by industry, they find you in a different one?
Yeah, I have to look at that. Someone mentioned industry on LinkedIn profile before, and I'm not sure where that is.
Because
So,
I have seen that make an impact on people who are reaching out to me for opportunities.
yeah.
When I shifted from the industry I was in to an industry that I would be interested in, because I don't have a target industry. But when I shifted to a more generic industry that better suits what I'm looking to do, I got more effective leads, if you will. People
Yeah,
coming into more effective matches and connections.
Yeah, because interestingly enough, when all the recruiters that have reached out to me about jobs have been from, so I'm sure it's somewhere in my LinkedIn profile, that industry's there, so I'll go look. Thank you, guys.
Walt?
This is Walt. I'd like to go back to the age thing briefly. Age and overqualified kind of fit in the same category. All we can do is show them how genuine and authentic we are with that job and that company, using our past skills and experience and telling them that we are not a risk. That's the concern. You're a risk. It's also, as was mentioned, a culture fit. So if everybody's 20 years old and everybody, and you don't think you fit there, hey, look, all I can do is tell you that here's what I bring to the table, and that is who I am, what I do, and how I can help you, achieve these things. And my authentic energy, interest, and excitement in that job and that company, and tell them you're not a risk. I would never take a position where I'm not fully committed to it, so that you reduce the risk in that. And then if they want that, fine. If they don't, you've done all you can do. Try not to go in with the attitude of they're going to discriminate me for age, they're going to look at this, because that's a negative thought. Think of it positively and go forward with it there that says, hey, this is why I'm here. This is what I can do. This is what I want. And if they want it, fine. But that's my suggestion to you is that's all that we can read. Don't let things stop you from getting the job you want. What is your strategy and ways for doing that? Salary. Don't let salary stop the process. I can talk about it in a workshop. I'm not going to talk about it here, but how I can get past that, because this is the job I want. This is the company I want to work for. What's that going to be? So it's that positive energy and attitude that's going to make the difference. Just my thoughts.
Thank you.
Well, thoughts are always good, so I appreciate it.
My next comment is regarding target companies. People who I noticed some people don't have a large target company list or don't have any altogether. What I would suggest for that is to go on the Career USA YouTube channel and watch the video where Mike Ray and Pete Hernandez present on the tool called Reference Solutions. And that's a tool that you can use to help you create a list of target companies, and because that way you can find information about certain types of companies and how big they are and all that kind of stuff by using that tool. So just wanted to share that with people, share that information with people.
Thank you. And that tool is free, so.
Through the library.
Through the public library.
Reference Solutions.
And the link has been added into the chat.
Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Michael Garber. Yeah, thanks, Wayne. That's a good tip on using the library tools. One of the first questions was about all the different areas of the job search. And one of the things is, keeping current on your skills, improving your skills. And the library resources are a really good free set of resources that you can utilize. Many of your local libraries have access to, like Coursera or the other online training providers. So you can do classes either for just your interest or get certifications, things like that. But go through your library to get a library card, or the city of Houston has a free one for anybody in Texas. It's a great resource, and it's always good to kind of mix up, your day, spend a little bit of time doing training, and don't stay on LinkedIn all day and reading different posts and everything. Just try to mix things up. But along the lines of how you should approach your job search, one of the things you could do is use AI, ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, and say, these are the primary areas of what I need to work on in my job search. Please lay out a plan for how I can go about doing this and provide suggestions on tools to help track that. And they can, it'll give you an answer about, okay, you need to spend this amount of time on this amount of time on your resume, et cetera. And then you can just kind of deep dive in from there and say, okay, my resume is pretty complete. What's my next area? And that could help give you an iterative process for things to work on and give you ideas on how to improve the different assets of your job search.
Yeah, and the next thing I wanted to share is about a tool called jobscan.co. It's that you can use that, and that's what you can use to, put your resume up against a job description and see how much of a match it is on a basis of percentage points. So that's a great tool to use. I don't know all the details about, as I know there's only a certain number you can do for free, like per month, I believe, and I'm not sure. Just I think you can probably find that on their website, I would think, and how many you can do per month for free. So that's another tool I would suggest people to use that I think could be helpful to them.
This would be a 5 per month, and make sure if you use it, you don't want to put in like at the very bottom of a job description, the EEOC thing or anything about benefits. Just prime part of the job description is what you want to try to match with your resume.
Do the same thing with AI.
Yeah,
Correct.
and AI does the same thing. That's what JobScan was an AI. Okay, what else can we answer for somebody? Who has jobs available? Latest job numbers came out today, and they're not quite as high as expected.
Yep, JobScan, it's in the chat.
I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care what the news says. I don't care what companies are doing. Every company will hire you if you can help them do something that they need done. Every company that's laying people off is also hiring people. It doesn't stop. So we can't let all of that information. And what are we going to do anything differently based on what the job statistics come out? No. I mean, we're still going to, keep the same path and keep the same going. The trick is to not let that information affect our attitude and our information and say, oh, this is just such a tough job for us to do. Is to go with gusto.
Hey, hold on. Who? People online won't be able to hear you.
I was going to say, I think you also have to take into account that the jobs reports may or may not be accurate anymore, given what's going on in the government. So you also have to take those with a grain of salt. They might be too high, too low, but I don't know that they're necessarily trustworthy anymore.
Yep. Getting my steps in today.
You are. And just coming from, I just wanted to speak to something that is kind of poking at me while we're sitting in this conversation. It's something that I do in my work as far as kind of bridging and balancing a lot of that work information, but also the people side. Going back to, I don't remember your name, but like the first question that came up about scheduling and being organized with that. There's a lot of tips and tricks that come out of these type of conversations and sessions, and it can be overwhelming to hear about all the videos and the one page and the this and the that, and you get so excited and you want to go home and do all 700 things that we talked about today. So just keeping in mind that we really have to understand how we are going to organize. And one of the things from hiring for a long time, understanding a lot of these tips and tricks are very good. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you, it really just comes down to what the person on the other end is looking at. If I am a hiring manager and I don't care anything about videos and this and that, you can go do them, but it may not appeal to me. It might appeal to Tammy, right? So it is good for that, but find what is going to work for you and what you are going to be able to sing the whole song about. So we all know songs where we kind of like the lyrics, but we have those songs where we know every single lyric in the song based on basically we wrote the song because we know it and we will go for it. Those are the things, really focus on that. So when you do get that interview where you do meet somebody, you can go into that. I think one of the recruiter that talked about it today, and then Walt just kind of talked about it as well, is your mindset. Don't get so caught up in I can't do videos or I can't do this and that. Find out what you can do and take that tip and trick and go into it. But I think sometimes we can get so excited about all the overwhelming things that are going to come up today that we want to go home and do all 500 of them. Figure out what works and kind of go into that. So I think for me, as I'm thinking about the people aspect in this room and online, keep that in mind as you are organizing yourself and figuring it out. Like, don't try to go and boil the entire ocean and watch every single YouTube today and all of those type of things. So that's just something for me. I'm just sitting here thinking about like the people aspect. And I'm like, some people are going to go home and like overwhelm themselves today with this. These are great tips and tricks, but make sure that you write them all down, but figure out what you're going to do this weekend and what's going to have to wait until next week.
Yeah, we once had a speaker. I've only had one speaker in the past 15 years who did this, but he said he used to come and say, you're not going to remember everything I say over the next 50 minutes, but if you just take away one thing this week and apply that, that's all you need to do.
So we don't go home and apply online for 4 hours.
And who's that just speaking? Was that Tiffany Ford?
Yes, it was.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, what else can we answer for somebody? We've got about 10 minutes left. Come on, I need to get more steps in here. Anything?
No, I just want to concur with what Tiffany, right? Yes, what Tiffany say. When I went through the a similar focus group, initially I wanted to focus on everything at the same time, and I was overwhelmed. But I started focusing on one thing at a time. What is my verbal resume? What is my paper resume? Now we have LinkedIn, which is okay. What am I? social media resume, but you can only focus on one thing at a time. Go to workshops such as the workshop at Market Street that help you with at least your LinkedIn resume and your physical resume feedback. And and you can only go one at your own pace, one at a time, and that will help you tremendously. It took me years to finally get to that level where I start generating calls from the resume I have. So, you know, just, be patient with yourself. That's all.
I'll give you some information that might help you prioritize work. Job Search 101. Number one, focus on you. Focus on who you are, what you love to do, what's your background, what's your experience, what you're looking for, your target. Understand that. And if we don't understand that, we cannot tell other people what that is. We can't explain it. So we want to be able to articulate that. Secondly, it's going to be our marketing material. So that's our resume, our bios and things. You're going to have to get something on LinkedIn because everybody's going to go look at LinkedIn. So you want to have that. You don't have to have 72 revisions of your resume. Okay. Get that tacked down and you can adjust it a little bit. Get that. Third thing you want to start spending more time on is networking. So now I've got my materials. I got how I can explain myself. Now let me network with people. Yes, we're going to apply online, do that on evenings and weekends after hours. Spend your time networking. Where can I put that? So there was your priority there. Then guess what's last is interviewing. So you've got all this work done and all that prepared. Can you effectively present yourself in an interview so that you can know, they can know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them? And so if you haven't done number one, you're not going to get very far with number two or number three or number four. So that's my suggestion as an outline as to where you want to help focus your time.
It's more of a personal thing, but I guess I can just.
Hi, Tammy Woody. I want to share that I am kind of like a person just to like float over there by myself. And coming to the networking events made me realize how it's important to network with people, not that I know, but people that I don't know. And being able to just speak up and be brave. So I want to share two experiences from the last week. One, I was with Miss Lolita and a couple other job seekers at Chick-fil-A. One of the job seekers saw a person with a Dr. Pepper shirt on. And they were like, oh my goodness, I want to work at Dr. Pepper. Can you tell me something to this lady? And she let the conversation in. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm never going to see this lady. Who cares if she rejects me? So I said, do you mind if we connect? We're all job seekers and we would love to learn more about Dr. Pepper. That led to a connection. I'm not sure if Lolita's listening, but it led to a connection for me. So if you see something and you want to say something and you're afraid, that person's never going to see you again. So I'm never going to be at that Chick-fil-A and run into that same person. So if I get rejected, that's just one rejection to make me stronger next time for the next rejection. The second thing is I started following a lot of companies like I'm being told to do in all these networking events. And I saw a post on a leader that's a veteran. I commented on the post on my connection with what they're doing. That person then in turn looked at my profile, which I got super excited, and they replied to my comment. So I took the next step and connected with them and asked, could we meet and sit down? So I'm supposed to meet with that high-level executive in the next week. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody because the worst thing they're going to say is no.
Actually, his no is the second best answer you can get, because then you know to move on.
Paul Hussar, I want to share something someone told me long ago that stuck with me. When I was in corporate finance, I was between positions, and I was meeting with a prominent CFO in the area. Great guy, he was a good friend. And we were talking about the economic situation and the possibility of a coming recession. And he looked at me and he said, I'm never in recession. And that stuck with me. And that kind of bounces off of what a lot of people have said here. Yeah, don't worry about this or that, or the macro, or the prejudices of people. If they're not smart enough to hire you because of any of that, then they're going to get what they deserve. So have a positive outlook. You're going to get your next job, and you're going to be very successful in it.
All right, what else can we answer for somebody? We've got time for one more good question. Do what? What do you say? I didn't hear.
Go to lunch.
Can we go to lunch? Yes, we'll go to lunch soon. I'll tell you a little story about my son. He works for an investment banking firm here in Dallas. And one of the companies they own, the COO just retired or just resigned the beginning of this month. And he said and he told the owner of the company, I'm leaving because I don't like working for you. And to me, if somebody told me that, I'd want to know what I did that was wrong. I mean, most people leave because they don't like their boss. In this case, the boss was like, who cares if he goes? That's, it's stupid on his part to leave. He's not going anyplace else. So, just not being aware. And I know most people leave their jobs because they don't like their supervisors or bosses. And, this was a classic example. My son told me 2 weeks ago. So anything else we can answer for somebody? Anybody else online? All right, let me come up, let me share a few more slides and we'll get out of here. Thought we had some very good discussion today. Thank you. Next Friday, Nikki will be with us and talk about scripting, recording, and posting video resume. She'll be using Canva and it should be very interesting. Should be a really great presentation next week. On the Career USA YouTube channel, we've got almost 700 videos up there now. If you go to click on playlist, if you go there, and there at the very bottom for the North Dallas Plano Focus Group speakers, click on view full playlist, and you can go back and see different videos at your leisure on some really great topics that we've had over the last several years. Next Tuesday, for LinkedIn Tuesday, Ruth Lipsky will be with us to talk about LinkedIn's tools for job seekers. Next Wednesday, the practice interview team will be meeting in person right here in this room. If you can make it. If you cannot make it, we recommend that you watch section 6 of 13, interview opens, closing, and how to follow up. This is a great video that Walt and Mark McDonald put together a few years ago. And anybody if you can't join us in person, you can still think about interviewing next Wednesday. To get to that link, if you don't have it in the email, just go to the Career USA YouTube channel, Career USA website, and just click on Interview Wednesday, and it'll have the link in there every Wednesday for the next each session. Next Friday, as we said, Nikki will be with us, talk about scripting, recording, and posting a video resume. Today, we're going to go to Country Burger. I'm ready to go. 3115 West Parker. How many people think they're going to go so we know how to be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So probably a 10 because a couple people always show up. So that would be great. So thank you very much for everybody for joining us today. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.